Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Happy 2017, Happy New Year. Oh my goodness, it feels like, part of me feels like it's been 5 minutes since I've been on here, and the other part of me feels like it's been a year. So I might be a little rusty, but it's so good to be back on here. So let's dive right into Minks Monday. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the Demi Ben print. All right, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's go to work, start your workout, let's do your laundry, whatever it is, come join me. Starting with the very first question from Renee Weiss. I was wondering what's your opinion on the Speedy Bandolier 25 in mono. I'm in the market in the near future. The pros, the cons, as I don't carry much but an Adele wallet, cosmetic PM, and 6 key holder, and just a bit of loose things. I'm 5'6" and medium size. Great question. And as most of you know, I definitely tend to prefer the classic Speedy over the Bandolier. However, if you follow me on Instagram, for the last couple of months, I've put some sporadic pictures of the 25 Bandolier. It's caught my eye. It's been, you know, kind of cataloged into the wish list. And I'd have to say that definitely one of the biggest pros for any bandolier is the fact that it's so incredibly versatile. You can use it crossbody, you can use it on your shoulder, or you can take off the strap and then just use it as a classic Speedy. The only con that I can think of really is the fact that the smaller the Speedies get, the opening tends to be a little bit more restricting. So if you want to put your, like if your wallet is a little bit larger, or if you have an item that is a little bit too large, you kind of have to put it, you kind of have to adjust it. You kind of have to put it on its side in order for it to go inside of the handbag. So I would have to say that's really the only con. I know some people might think that the fact that you have quite a bit of leather or vachetta might be a downside. I don't see it that way, just because you guys know I absolutely love the process, the natural process of patina. And I've had a lot of people ask as to why I want to go for a 25 bandolier if I'm so fond of the 30. And the reason that is because I feel that the 30 looks better as a hand carry bag. When I put on the bandolier 30, I just felt it was a little too large. It kind of looked, I don't know, it didn't look proportionate to my frame, but when I put on the 25, I felt that it looked really great, and that's the type of bag that I don't think I would end up using as a hand carry bag, just because, again, I like that aspect that you can use it crossbody or on your shoulder. But whether or not that is going to happen, whether or not that bag makes it to my collection, who knows, but it has been filed on the wish list. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, Teresa Marie. I'm thinking about getting the Gucci Soho Disco in black, the Neverfull MM, or the Tiffany & Co. T Collection silver wire bracelet. What are your thoughts and advice? Great question. And all three of these are fantastic. The Gucci Soho Disco, the Neverfull, obviously you guys know how I love it, and Tiffany & Co. Jewelry. All right, so between the three, you know, I'm a big fan of Tiffany & Co., especially their silver jewelry. I think that they are so, I mean, they are such beautiful pieces. However, I have kind of noticed that they don't hold their resale value as well as they used to, and they definitely increased their prices a little bit. But I feel that, you know, maybe 5-6 years ago, if you got an item for $250, you can find it on the pre-loved market for $200, $225, depending on the condition. So the resale value doesn't really hold as well, but I have also noticed that it seems that it's gotten a little bit more popular. Do you guys think that? Like, I think that 5 or 6 years ago, it was all about T & Co., or maybe not even 6 years ago, more than that, like 14 years ago, you know, it was all about Tiffany & Co. And then they kind of went into a slump, and then I feel that they're kind of on the rise again. I don't know. I feel that that's kind of what's happening, especially because I see a lot more people talking about Tiffany & Co. So definitely if it becomes more popular, then the resale value will help. I mean, it'll increase. As far as the Gucci Soho Disco, I had that bag in my collection for 5 minutes. I ended up returning it. I love the bag. Not only is it all leather, it has a fantastic price point. The only downside to it, in my opinion, was the fact that the slack that the strap has, if you were to make it smaller, it kind of just, it doesn't have a stationary, doesn't have like a stationary thing where it stays. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel that it's kind of flailing in the wind, and I don't like that. So that's the only thing that drives me crazy about that bag. But other than that, great size, fits so much, and again, great price point. Now, out of the three, I would definitely recommend the Neverfull MM, and it's probably because I'm biased, but you guys know my love for that bag is just, I cannot say enough about it. Definitely one of the best purchases I have ever made. I have 3 in my collection and I can't say enough about them. I use them so much. I'm constantly rotating them. So if I was to put all 3 of these in order, I would go for the Neverfull first, then the Gucci, and then the Tiffany & Co. That's how I would do it. But again, whichever one makes your heart sing, go for that. All right, next question from Caramel Diva 7. I am now thinking about getting a Celine handbag instead of my desired Louis Vuitton Artsy. What do you think? Should I still get the Artsy now or the Celine? Great question, and as most of you know, I had the Artsy in my collection. It has since left, and it's really no surprise because you guys know that I'm not too big on bags that tend to lose their structure. But having said that, even though that bag is no longer in my collection, I think that it is by far one of the best looking handbags that Louis Vuitton has in their handbag lineup. Definitely, 100% hands down. Gorgeous, gorgeous bag. Now, Celine, you guys know I'm a fan of Celine. I have 2 of their handbags and I love them to pieces, but I have to be honest, for the price tag that Celine has, they don't hold their resale value. Some of their, like the mini luggage, for example, is $3,100. You can find it on the pre-loved market for $1,900, $2,200. That's a huge difference between retail and the pre-loved. So they are great. They are beautiful handbags, but the resale value is not there. Whereas the Artsy definitely holds its resale value. So I would have to say that one of the things that stands out to me the most from your question, Caramel Diva 7, is the fact that you said my desired Louis Vuitton Artsy. That statement right there makes it sound like the Artsy makes your heart sing louder than the Celine. And if the Artsy is on your wish list, I've said it before, or any item, it's really easy to, you know, to have your eyes on the prize and then you see something else and you're kind of like, oh, what about this? But no, keep your eyes on the prize. And if you love the Artsy, then I would say go for it, or go to Celine, check it out, put your items in there and see how you like it. Because that's another thing I have to mention, that the Celine, because of the leather, it is a little bit heavier. It tends to get a little heavy. So just thought I'd throw that out there. But whichever one makes your heart sing the loudest, but it sounds to me like it might be the Artsy. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Milan. I have an ethical question. If you see someone with a fake Louis Vuitton bag and they obviously are not aware of this, would you tell her or not? Fantastic question. All right, so most of you know how I feel about the fake handbags. It's not for me. However, it is not my place to say or to voice my opinion if someone doesn't ask. I would never go up to a stranger. I would never go up to someone and tap them on the shoulder and say, by the way, that's a fake handbag. I would never ever do that because maybe they do know, maybe they don't want to say. I have no idea, but who am I to tell someone? If my opinion isn't asked, that's really what it comes down to. If my opinion is not asked, then I'm not going to say something. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna take the liberty of doing that. I think that is extremely rude. And I don't think I could ever do that, no. But if that person said, is this a fake bag? Is this a real bag? Obviously the replicas now are so incredibly good. It's getting harder and harder to tell them apart. But I would never go up to someone and say, that's a fake bag, by the way. Because like I said, maybe they don't want to say anything. Maybe they know, maybe, I don't know. And I would never tell someone what they should or shouldn't do with their funds, because I wouldn't want someone to tell me what to do with my funds. And I know I get a lot of people saying that on my channel, people that come by and say, why would you spend that amount of money on a handbag, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into it, but at the end of the day, it's whatever makes me happy. And whether it's a replica or not, to each their own. I am not one to say anything. I am not one to judge. I'm not going to sit here and shame someone for a handbag. Never. I would never ever do that. So, I could not. But great question. All right, next question from GSoul23 Yao. I don't know if I said that right, but what's your expectation on how long a zippy wallet would last if used daily? Do you recommend rotating SLGs to preserve their lifespan? Fantastic question, and I do. I definitely recommend rotating your handbag, your SLGs, all your pieces as much as possible so that the wear doesn't show as quickly. However, it's really hard to kind of give a definitive answer, like, oh, you know, it should last a year, it should last 2 years. And it's really hard to say, you know, how long something should last, because we all treat our items so differently. Some people are a little bit harder on their items, some people are a little bit more careful. But I would have to say that constant use of a zippy wallet, I know they give you the 1 year warranty, although someone on a previous video said that now it's 2 years, so I'm not too sure. But constant wear, daily wear, I would have to say, I mean, I obviously would all want it to last 2-3 years, but we have to be realistic. I would have to say 8 months. 8 months to the year. And I say the year because they give you that 1 year warranty. So in my head, I feel like that's their way of saying, okay, up to a year of normal wear and tear. But again, it all depends on how someone uses their item. If they're a little bit, you know, if they're a little bit harder on their items, as I said earlier. But I would say 8 months to a year would be what I would assess as normal wear and tear. And when I would start to see the wear, you know, like the varnishing, or maybe the zipper starting to get a little bit tarnished. I would have to, I mean, again, it's so hard to pinpoint, but I would have to say 8 months to a year. Yeah, I mean, and definitely the year, because like I said, they say they say the year, so I would assume that's their way of saying, okay, that's what we think. But fantastic question. All right, next question from Vitamin E. What makes you decide on the right hardware for the Chanel Classic Flap? I have the Chanel Jumbo and Caviar with gold hardware, which sometimes I find too dressy for my lifestyle. Not sure whether silver hardware in Jumbo and gold hardware in medium large should be the right choice. Great question, and I've answered this on my channel a few times before, and it's another question that I get asked quite often, especially on Instagram. And as most of you know, when it comes to hardware of handbags, I'm not one to match my jewelry to my handbag. I mix and match my metals all the time. You know, I know a lot of people say that a silver looks a little bit better if you tend to be more casual, a little bit more of a casual dresser, and the gold hardware some people find to be a little too dressy. However, I feel that whether you go for gold or whether you go for silver, you can really dress up and dress down the handbag quite easily. And I actually think I mentioned this on my previous Minks Monday. I have the Jumbo in the gold, and I have the medium large in the silver, and out of the two, I definitely use my medium large the most. Not necessarily because of the hardware, but more so because of the size. So if you're like me and you think that you'll end up using your medium large a little bit more and you are a casual dresser, then maybe the silver would be something you know, to take into consideration. But again, I feel that you can easily dress them up and dress them down with, you know, without a problem. And I'm a sucker for both. I love the gold hardware. Sometimes some people, again, might think it's a little too flashy, it's a little too dressy. I don't think that at all. But I really love the combination of black and gold for Chanel. I just absolutely do. I love the silver, but black and gold just is one of my all-time favorite combinations. So hopefully that was able to help. But again, whichever one makes your heart sing, and if you end up, if you like the way that the silver looks on the Jumbo and the gold looks on the medium large, then I say definitely go for that. But again, hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Kate_MNL. Do you recommend canvas versus OnFront leather on bags if I want the structure to last longer? I notice you don't own an OnFront leather bag. Is it because it is great for SLGs only? I'm choosing between the Mazarine and Sienna. Which one do you think will hold its shape more and be more carefree? Great question. Okay, so do I recommend canvas versus OnFront leather on bags if I want the structure to last longer? Not necessarily. It really depends on the shape or the structure of the bag itself. For example, the Artsy and OnFront is absolutely beautiful. I love it in canvas and I love it in OnFront, but because it doesn't have too much, it doesn't have the best shape, it'll start to soften over time. The leather will soften, and it won't be as structured. It won't have that structured look to it. And is it good because it's only for SLGs only? OnFront leather, I love OnFront leather in SLGs, and I love it in bags. If I was to get an OnFront bag, and I still can't tell you why I haven't jumped the gun on this handbag, but if I was to get an OnFront bag, it would be the Montaigne, because the Montaigne has the beautiful OnFront, plus I feel that it holds its shape incredibly well, so I won't have any type of sagging or anything like that. The embossing might start to not be as noticeable wrinkle over time, but again, because it has that structure, I feel that it will age very, very beautifully. But no, I definitely recommend an OnFront bag. And I like I said before, I can't pinpoint why it is that I haven't added that bag to my collection. I think it was 2 weeks ago, we were at the boutique and I saw the Montaigne. Again, it wasn't made in France, it was made in the US. But I was sitting there kind of playing with it at the boutique, and I just couldn't, I couldn't do it. I don't know why. And I love the bag. I absolutely love the bag. But definitely it depends on the structure of the handbag. Now, choosing between the Mazarine and the Sienna, both of these are fantastic bags. The Sienna is in canvas and Damier Ben, and the Mazarine, I'm probably saying that incorrectly, is in OnFront. But because of the structure that they have, I think both of them will end up holding their shape very, very well. As far as carefree, even though I do love the leather, I feel that the canvas in Damier Ben is absolutely 100% more carefree than the leather, because you don't have to worry. I mean, I know a lot of people use their OnFront bags in the rain, but I'm saying as far as anything else, the canvas is just, to me, a little bit more carefree out of the two. So it is, it is a hard decision. I don't think I'm helping. But I would definitely go to the boutique, check them out, and see which one you like the best. But they're very similar in shape. So I'm excited to hear which one you end up choosing. All right, next question from Grace H. First, what do you think about green Chanel bags? Would you consider it a new classic or seasonal? Second, what do you think about the Chanel Extra Mini bag? Great questions. All right, what do I think about green Chanel bags? It's funny because it has to be the right type of green, kind of like red, although a red is a neutral. I wouldn't consider it a classic. I would consider it definitely a seasonal piece, but it has, like I said before, it has to be the right green. And I do like the brighter greens, but there is something about that army green, that khaki green, what have you, that I absolutely love. If you were to have asked me 5 years ago, what do I think of a green bag, I would have said no. Never. Not for me. You know, I'm not a fan of orange. I'm not a fan of blue, purple, or green. So obviously that only leaves room for pink and red, and yellow. But I love the way that green looks, especially when it has that antique finish to it for the hardware. I really like that combination. I saw a boy bag in like the olive green. Oh, beautiful, beautiful bag. But again, it has to be the right, the right green. So it would definitely be a seasonal color. And what do I think about the Chanel Extra Mini bag? So the Extra Mini bag, I think it is absolutely adorable. It is so incredibly cute. Some people can pull it off. I cannot. I think that it's way too small. You know, and if you would have asked me about the minis that I have now, I would have said, no, not for me. They're way too small. But with the What's in My Bag video that I did last month, and I will make sure and put that somewhere in the video, you know, I'm able to fit quite a bit in there. But when it comes to the Extra Mini, I think it was probably a few months ago, one of my clients had one, and I couldn't fit anything in there. And I'm pretty good at playing Tetris with my handbags as far as what I can fit in there. And I think I fit a phone in there. Was it my phone? No, I don't, maybe it wasn't my phone. A lipstick, maybe a card holder. I don't remember, but I couldn't fit much in there. And I think that for the price point, the fact that I couldn't put that much in there, I was trying my hardest. I was really trying. With their price point and the fact that I can't really fit anything in there, I personally don't, it's not for me and for me to add to my collection, but I do think they're super, super cute. And you know, kudos to the people that can pull them off. But when I put it on, first of all, it was way too short, and it just looked so it looked so awkward on me, you know, because I'm not petite. But they're not for me. Very, very cute, but not for me. All right, next question from Tisha Zachary. What and when do you think the price increases will be for Chanel? And I managed to find the Runway Silver City steamer at the Rodeo Drive store and wondered about your thoughts. I love it, but not sure if it's too edgy. I'm pretty classic, but I have an eclectic collection of both classics and edgy Chanel and LV. Okay, so As far as the Runway Steamer, you know, when it comes to metallic handbags, I do like the look of them. I love the way that gold, I love the way that the silver looks, or any other color. But when it comes to metallic handbags, I think because of the finish that they have, I don't like the way that they wear over time. I feel that they start to look worn very quickly, or once it starts to wear, it just looks a little off. You know, and that's what I'm not a fan of. There are some beautiful, beautiful bags out there that are metallic, and, you know, my eye is drawn to them because they're shiny, but that's the only thing I don't like about metallic handbags. Of course, I've never really dabbled with metallic Louis Vuitton handbags or Chanel handbags, but just from other bags that I have experienced. So if you guys have had great success with metallic handbags, let me know in the comment section down below, because I have had my eye on some of them, but I'm so used to what, you know, the experiences that I had from other handbags that I've never really given them a chance. So I'm really curious to hear if you guys have seen that they wear very well, if they end up, maybe if they don't show scratches, again, because of the finish that they have. So it's not for me, but any runway handbag definitely adds variety to any collection. And if you like the bag, if it makes your heart sing, and you said that you have an eclectic collection of Louis Vuitton and Chanel's, it sounds like it would be a perfect addition to your collection. So I say go for it, especially if when you saw it, you're just kind of like, ah, you know, we all have that ah moment. So I say go for it if you love it. What and when do you think the price increases will be for Chanel? Fantastic, fantastic question. It was 2 weeks ago. I was talking to my sales associate from Chanel, and we were at South Coast Plaza last week, and I was talking to a few sales associates from a few other fashion houses, and they kind of started hinting towards January. And we've also heard rumors that in the UK, Chanel will increase their prices in January as well. So I think because they were hinting at it, because they were kind of like going, you know, they didn't want to say, by the way, this is when it's going to happen. It seems like it might be January, and I think it might be classic flaps this time around, because it's been, what, three and a half years since there's been an increase in classic flaps. So I really think, maybe it's been a little bit longer, I think that's what's going to happen. Of course, this is all speculation. There is nothing set in stone. I'm not trying to start any rumors or anything like that, but it's just kind of the feeling that I got, and kind of some of the words that they were saying when they were talking to me about pricing and whatnot. So, hopefully there is no price increase. Hopefully it doesn't happen for years to come. How awesome would that be? But it makes me sad because I think that it's right around the corner. I really do. So that makes me sad. But great question. Again, just speculation, just my 2 cents. Next question from Gay Lassie. I'm considering getting a Speedy bandolier in Mon Monogram. What about the initials themselves? I wanted to do just one, but I have to get at least 2. But I find the initials are not centered. LV tends to do on the Mon Monogram is a symmetry between the place of the letters and the leather of the handles. That is what my essay said, but there is no symmetry, and that bugs me. I just can't see myself ordering one and praying that it turns out the way that I want it to. Shall I just get one without my initials, or should I leave it and take a regular Speedy? But I wanted the light blue interior, still debating on the interior though. Okay, so here I have my Mon Mono. So we have a little bit of eye candy because I have failed today to bring you guys eye candy. So here I have my Speedy 30 in Mon Mono. And as you can see, it's really, I mean, it's centered perfectly in my opinion. Even the little dot here, let me bring it up as close as I can. Hopefully it's not out of focus. It's even on the bottom of the little flower here. So I really love the way that it turned out. However, when it comes to Mon Mono, I think it's going to be smack in the middle. So I think from what you said, because I did end up shortening the question just a little bit, you said that your sales associate would be able to help you make sure that it's exactly what you want. But when it comes to Mon Monos, because of the price that they have and because they're so personalized, you want to make sure it's exactly what you want. It's way too much money to, you know, for those 8 weeks that it's in Paris being made, you're going to be, if it was me, I'd be freaking out, you know, I'd be biting my nails hoping that it turns turns out the way that it does. So I would definitely take your time, go to the boutique as many times as possible, or check out other videos, or do like a Google search on images so you can see how they turn out. Like I said, I think mine turned out perfectly. It's smack in the middle, and I really love the way that it looks, and I feel that I think that they'll end up doing the same thing. But again, take your time. Make sure it's exactly what you want, because when it comes to Mon Monos, we all know that they are final sale. There's nothing that they can do. So again, go to the boutique, try it out, see what it is that you like, check out the colors. But if I was to do Mon Mono for the price tag, personally, I would get the initials, because it's just a way of personalizing your handbag a little bit more, besides the colors, you know. But definitely, I cannot stress it enough, take your time and make sure it's exactly what you want. And if it takes a few months, if it takes a few weeks, then so be it, because as I said before, it's quite a bit of money. And when you open up your package, when you see that bag, you want your heart to sing. You don't want to be any type of disappointed whatsoever. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, and last question from Sandra P. Any New Year's resolutions? Fantastic question. When it comes to New Year's resolutions, I try not to make them because I usually end up breaking them. I'm very bad. But for 2017, I wish everyone, my family, my friends, and absolutely everyone, you know, health, happiness, love, and prosperity for 2017, because I think that's really what's most important. And I really want to do something this year for my community. I don't know what. My mom and I were thinking about going to a soup kitchen and doing it maybe a weekly thing or a monthly thing, but I don't know. I want to do something. I want to do something, you know, and I feel like the last couple of weeks, you know, I was watching some videos, and we were just talking about being able to do something for our fellow man, woman, and I think that's the direction that I would like to take, you know. So I don't know. Some people might think that sounds so after school special, and I always say after school special. I don't know why. I picked it up years ago, but that's what I want to do, you know. And if I can do it with my mom, even better, so that way we can spend time. But yeah. That's enough of that. But that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. What do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to help. I think that I might have jumbled some words there, but I'm a little rusty. But I really do miss you guys, and I hope you all had a fantastic holiday season, and I wish you the very, very best for 2017. Again, health, love, prosperity, and much, much happiness. Yeah, so I have a fun lineup for you guys this week. I have my December favorites, because I didn't do my December favorites last month, so it's a little late. And then I have a review. I have some subby love. I have all sorts of stuff for you guys. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy these Minks Mondays, let me know in the comment section down below, or subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more. And that does it. I am all out. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.